What's up, guys? It's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we just got some new Yu-Gi-Oh! GX cards. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out these new cards. So first off, these cards are actually going to be released in a special pack in the OCG called Duel Academy Selection, which sounds awesome. There's going to be some really cool cards in this set, so let's go ahead and check out and see what these cards actually do. So first off, we do have a new elemental hero, Thunder Giant, which I'm super excited about because Thunder Giant and Tempest are my favorite original elemental hero monsters. And definitely comment down below which one yours is. I just love Thunder Giant. It's just so cool, and it's so cool to actually see a new version of it like Infernal Rage. So let's go ahead and see what it actually does. So this card is called Elemental Hero Thunder Giant Voltic Thunder, which I believe that is actually its attack. So let's see what it actually does. This card is a Warrior Fusion effect, light, level 6 with 2400 attack and 1500 defense, which is the same as the original Thunder Giant. In this card, it takes two Elemental Hero monsters with different attributes to be able to make it, which is very easy to actually do. And this card has the ability it must be fusion summoned, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. For the first effect, if this card is special summoned and your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can destroy all other cards on the field. Wow! Elemental Hero's getting a board wipe. That's actually really insane. This is going to be very easy to actually summon an Omni Hero as well, so that's actually really good for going second to help you OTK just to summon this card out. This card is definitely going to see play in the hero deck, and it's nice to actually see that we have a way to play Elemental Hero, Flame Wingman, and Thunder Giant. And definitely comment down below which one of the original Elemental Heroes is your favorite down in the comments. And for the second effect, you can tribute this fusion summoned card to be as using a normal monster as a material to be able to target an elemental monster in the graveyard and special summon it. Now that's a really cool ability because you can actually use it to be able to bring back something like a copy of Neos, so you can be able to go in for another fusion play. And I really like that overall, but being able to board wipe and being able to tribute it after it's been fusion summoned and you used a null monster to make it, you can just basically bring back any of your elemental hero monsters. You can use this to be able to bring back your copy of Stratos to your side of the field to be able to get an additional search, which is actually really nice, and it's actually an amazing card. This card is definitely going to see play. It's probably just a one of in the hero deck because the hero extract is already so tight, but this is actually really cool. You can even technically bring back cards like Shining Neos Wingman because it is an elemental hero monster, which is actually really cool. This card is really awesome, and I really like it overall. So we do also have a new water dragon monster, and I feel like at this point they're kind of just teasing us because they haven't given us the fire dragon that was shown in the original opening of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but we've gotten a bunch of different versions of water dragon. So this card is actually called Light Water Dragon, and this card is a Sea Serpent Water level 4, 1400 attack, 1300 defense, which is actually, funny enough, half the stats of the original Water Dragon, because Water Dragon has 2800 attack points and 2600 defense points. The reason I know that is because it was one of my favorite cards, but when I was younger, and this card actually has the ability, this card's name is always treated as Water Dragon, and you can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. For the first effect, you can banish this card you control to special summon 3 level 5 or lower water and or wind dinosaur monsters from your deck in defense position, but their effects are negated. Also, you cannot special summon for the extract for the rest of the turn except for dinosaur and sea serpent monsters. That's insanely good. Wow, you can just banish it and then summon out Deuterion, Hydrogeddon, and Oxygeddon to your side of the field, or anything that you need to be able to use Bonding H2O or Bonding D2O to be able to step into the Water Dragon cluster or Water Dragon. That's actually really good. That's actually really insane because it gives you all the pieces that you need to be able to step into your different water dragon monsters. This card is instantly a 3 of the water dragon deck. I mean, they need support anyways, but it's really actually interesting for dinosaur decks as well because it gives you the ability to get 3 monsters out on your side of the field, and it only locks you into dinosaur and sea serpent, which in some builds is not even that big of a deal, because the different cards in the deck, like the Xeno cards, are already locking you into different, I believe it's into Worm, Dragon, Dinosaur, and Sea Serpent. So you're only just locking yourselves into Dinosaur and Sea Serpent on top of that, which is not that big of a deal, especially when you're locking yourself out of the extract for the rest of the turn, which is actually really cool. So this has a lot of uses and is going to be a really powerful card moving forward. It is basically like a rescue rabbit for dinosaurs. That's actually really insane. That's actually really, really good. And also, we do have a new armed dragon card. I hope this card is good. It makes me think of Pile Armed Dragon with the drill hand, which looks awesome. So let's see what this card actually does. I'm actually the most excited about this one. I love all 3 of these cards, but this one's the one I'm hoping the most out of. So let's go ahead and see what this card actually does. So this card is called Drill Armed Dragon, which sounds awesome. And this card is a dragon effect wind, level 3 with 1100 attack and 400 defense points. And you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. For the first effect, you can send this card and 1 other wind monster from your hand to the graveyard, and for the rest of this turn, all wind dragon monsters you control gain 300 attack points. That's a pretty interesting effect, and I like it overall because it does help you basically use the ability of your armed dragon monsters and start your plays rolling by actually sending one of your armed dragon monsters from your hand to the graveyard to activate another armed dragon monster's effect, which will make them go off to be able to just instantly bring out something to your side of the field, search, draw, whichever one you send. But overall, pretty good effect for the first effect. For the second effect, you can banish any number of dragon monsters that are level 7 or higher and or wind monsters from your graveyard to add a dragon monster from your deck to your hand with a level equal to the number of banished, except a copy of this card. Very interesting effect overall. I'm not sure how good this card is actually going to be inside of Armed Dragon Thunder, but it's pretty good overall, letting you grab the exact card that you need. Only downside is it does require you banish level 7 or higher monsters from your graveyard to add a dragon monster to your hand with a level equal to the number of banished. So that's actually a pretty interesting effect, but that's going to take a lot of dragon monsters to grab the exact thing you need. But overall, the first effect being able to actually activate and give you a little bit of a boost is pretty nice. But overall, it's an alright card. I feel like it's interesting. I wish it did a little bit more for the actual archetype and give us more of a starter for the archetype, but it's pretty good. It's very, very good for the archetype, and I'll take any armed dragon support that we can get. Now, we also have another new card, and it's actually going to be called Drawbread, and we actually have the official text for this card, and it's going to be a V-Jump card, but let's go ahead and see what this card actually does. So this card has a very cool ability because this card is actually based on an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX where they had to actually draw out a sandwich that had the golden egg on it, and apparently Jaden had a special power for knowing which one was the correct one, if you guys remember that episode. But this card is actually called Drawbread, and it's a normal spell card with the ability you can only activate one of this card's name per turn, and it has the ability for the first effect, if you have a monster in the graveyard, pay 200 life points, draw a card and reveal it, and if it's a monster, apply this effect based on the attribute. Different from the monster in the graveyard, draw a card, same as that monster in the graveyard, discard a card. That's actually pretty cool because it's kind of like an upstart goblin, which is really neat, but it does require you to have a monster in the graveyard and pay 200 life points, which is basically nothing. Like, that's basically nothing for a lot of different decks, but I feel like this is going to see the most play inside of Dark World, which ironically was actually a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX archetype originally, which is pretty cool. I do see this seeing play inside of that because being able to draw and then discard a card, because you can basically target one of your danger monsters, or you can actually target a monster that's different in your graveyard that's from the extra deck to be able to just instantly draw a second card, which is pretty good. And it's overall pretty good inside of Dark World. I'm not sure where else we're going to see this play, but it is actually an insane card. Maybe inside of like Arcana Force, or being able to play this inside of like Dark World, but I think the best place for this card is actually going to be inside the Dark World deck, which is kind of funny because it's like this really bright and cheery card based on a sandwich played in like demons. Like, that's really weird, but kind of cool. Speaking of demons, we also have another new card, and this card is called Illusion Gate. This was actually revealed a couple of days ago, but I'm just now getting around to actually showing this one to you guys. But let's go ahead and see what this one actually does. This card is actually insane. I've checked this out, but I wanted to go ahead and just put it into this video as well. But this card actually is very, very interesting and an extremely powerful card. This is actually called Illusion Gate. With the ability, you can only apply the effects of this card's name once per duel, but it is a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX card. And this card says you pay half your life points, destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible, being a Regeki. Then you can special summon a monster from their graveyard to your field, ignoring its summoning conditions. That is broken. That is absolutely broken and definitely going to see play. You can play this card as like a one-of index that can actually play triple tactics thrust, and you can grab this card with thrust, which is actually extremely powerful. And I could definitely see this card actually getting banned later because it's a board wipe for paying half your life points. That's already really strong. It could have just done that and it would have been fine. But then you get to special summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard, ignoring its summoning conditions, meaning you can summon anything to your side of the field that you destroy, which is actually crazy powerful. And it doesn't even have to be what you destroyed. It can be anything that's already currently in the graveyard as well, which is actually really strong. And overall, this card is definitely going to see play. It's probably going to be like a side deck card, but you're going to have to watch out for it in time because it does require you to pay half your life points to activate it, and then you destroy everything. Overall, very interesting card, and I do see this card seeing play because you can search it with your copies of Thrust, and you might even see Thrust hit before this, but overall, I do think this card is going to see play, at least in the side deck, and it might, I definitely see this card getting limited. Even though it's a once per duel effect, this card is just too broken to see too much play, and this is going to see play and be like a 3-of and a lot of stuff right off the bat. But overall, really cool cards. Draw Bread is awesome, basically giving you like a draw 2. This card is all right for Armed Dragon. This card is insane. Lightwater Dragon is really good, and then the new Thunder Giant Voltic Thunder is just really, really awesome because it just destroys everything that your opponent has, and then it helps you basically go in for game. This card is going to be the game ending card as you just summon this, board wipe, and then swing in with all of your heroes. And it might make it even easier to go second with heroes to the board wipe fields and then just swing in for game. So that's going to be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely comment down below which one of the original Elemental Heroes is your favorite. Again, mine is actually Elemental Hero Tempest, which is such a cool fusion between Avian, Bubbleman, and Sparkman. Basically, anything with Sparkman in the fusion, I absolutely love those. So, that's going to be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next videos. See you later, guys.